Hi, welcome to Watcher DM. I'm Gabriel. Today I'm continuing my series on the Tome of Adventure Design Revised Edition by Matt Finch of Mythmere Games. Today we are going to do area naming. And then after we name the area, we're going to do some landmarks, I believe. So we're in the mapping kind of dungeon design section of the adventure. And effectively what we've done here is we've kind of gone from this is the scale of the larger dungeon down to this is this specific part of the dungeon. So this is section 1 with the rooms in it. And then those are the exits. Those are the transitions out to 4 and 5 here on the map. So we're going to name this area or level. Now, it's interesting. So it's kind of broken up here. The name of an area, if you want one at all, might occur to you while you are mapping or populating it. However, if you want some additional ideas at the beginning, the following tables can be used to come up with an interesting and evocative names for a particular part of the level, or possibly for the entire level if you wish. So we're gonna roll real quick to name this, and then we're gonna move on to landmarks. Now, this is described as tiles and flagstones, cut stone blocks. So, and one of the things about this is it kind of breaks down by different types, and I don't think we necessarily have a clear vision as to what those types are. Here's another map. These are the transitions. And I think the only other information I had was some secrets and clues stuff that we had rolled up before. But I don't have those cards on hand right now. So we're just going to go ahead and pick one. We'll pick a table here. So there's tombs, water, scholarship and research, imprisonment, worship. This kind of looks like a temple. Okay, let's go for worship. Let's give it a try. Let's see what we get. So we roll. We got 40. Where's my pan? Gotta grab my lamey. And we'll just mark on here 40 and 98. So the area location is, or the area name is the Dreaming Vestry. Interesting. It could alternately be the Water Chapel. That would be if I just swapped places with these. And then if we inverted them, so if we went 4 and 89, we could get the Bloodstained Shrine, which I kind of love. I think the Bloodstained Shrine is probably the most evocative of the three names. But it is a good example of how you can take a single roll and from it you can derive a number of results. And then you can mix and match. So if I like the Dreaming Shrine or the Bloodstained Vestry, which both sound actually pretty cool, you could do something like that to get your area names. So, area name sorted. I think we're going with the Bloodstained Shrine. And then we are going to do landmarks, placing landmarks. Each level in a dungeon should have landmarks in it, just as with a fractal type arrangement of the map into areas and transitions between them. Landmarks continue to nail down the map's geography. Without landmarks, the dungeon map risks being perceived by the players as an undifferentiated whole, where exploration is a boring process with no meaningful discoveries to be made. Landmarks in general include big things, level changes, strange things, special rooms, and water. I love that water kind of gets its own feature here. So let's go ahead. We're gonna roll on each one of these. I think these sound like a lot of fun. We're gonna roll on each one of these. So we'll start with. We'll just put on the top of our card landmarks. And we'll say big things. And we will roll. It looks like we'll roll 3 times. So 56, 44, 18. So let's see what these values are. So 56 and 44 looks like are going to be on the next page. So 56, mildewed, knights, and then 18, portcullis. Interesting. Mildewed, knights, portcullis. Makes me wonder if the knight is mildewed or if the portcullis is mildewed. That said, I don't think this is a super great. So let's see what. So 18 is bleached. Let's just reverse the set. So we'll say the bleached. Knights, because we reversed, it's just going to be in the same spot. And then what's 56? Turntables. Interesting. The bleached knights turntables. Okay. And then I think what we can do here is, since now we've looked up the first entry for 18 and the last entry for 18, and vice versa for 56. With 44, if we just say, oh, it's the abnormal and the circle, so we can know what those are. I kind of like circle. And then if we look at 56 hydraulic, and 18's middle is salt. Ooh, I like salt. Yeah, see. Okay, so where's bleached? Is that this guy? It is. Too bad. I like salt. I like salt there, and I like circle. So let's do salt, circle. I think it'll be mildewed, right? The mildewed salt circle? Is that right? Yeah. Yeah. That's pretty cool. The mildewed salt circle. So a feature of the dungeon is just an enormous salt circle that has become mildewed. That's pretty weird. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's keeping something in, or it's protecting something. So that could be interesting. Let's do a level change and see what we get here. This is just a single die. Oh, I see. It's a single die that then leads to sub die. So I rolled a 48, which is a shaft. Oh, no, it's not. 48 is a pit. So let's see. Don't create dungeon levels like a computer game. where there's only where there's one way down to the next level, and virtually the entire level needs to be explored to get there. If you're using the holistic dungeon method, put in about one level per 2 areas. Also keep in mind that not all level changes need to be stairs. Some of them can be the equivalent of traps, taking the adventurers completely unawares. Which I think in this case that's what we're getting here, is a pit. Now, there isn't a separate roll space for pit, so let's just flip the number real quick to see what the alternative is, and we'll move on. So if I do an 84, it's a stairs with landing. And I think there are some stairs here that can be rolled. So let's roll some stair stuff. So basic stairs. I rolled a 9. Oh, 90. Hilarious. A 35. And a 38. So these stairs with landing are spiral wooden stairs. Uh, 90. Low ceiling. $35. Carvings at stair tops. I think I'm going to say carving on steps. I'm pretty sure that's what that means. And then 38, which is the same. So, poor condition. And I'm just going to say fire damage, because it says fire or earthquake, but I like the idea of a burned spiral wooden staircase with carvings in it. That's pretty cool. And then let's roll on this unusual stairs table and see what we get. So we rolled a 4. Stairwell changes position to lead to different locations, either depth or different based on pattern of steps taken. Oof. Some trap stairs. Okay, there's some fun stuff in the stairs there. That's our level changes landmark. Let's check out the strange things landmark. The table that was made for me. A strange thing I am. Strange things. Part 1, part 2. Okay. So we got a 34. And we got a 14. So 34 is the globe of, and 14, disunity. I think I would probably call that something like the globe of discord or the discordant globe or something. Like disunity feels like a really weird way of expressing that. Let's see the inverse. So 14 is the cavern of, and 34 is kindness. Oh, interesting. The cavern of kindness. Kind of like that. Okay. Well, those are some interesting results. I don't know that they're necessarily strong. Like if strange things. Alternative 1. Okay. So there's an alternative 2. So let's try out alternative 2. I'm just going to mark this as 1. And then we'll go ahead and we'll roll alternative 2. So we'll just do a little dashed line here. And this will be 46. and 77, and this is 2. Okay. $46, The Illusory, and 77 is Rods. So The Illusory Rods. A little weird. Or cool. The Ringing Jars. The Ringing Jars, that gives me some cool ideas. Like, I could imagine little, like, mechanical fish or something stored in some jars. Like, as they swim around, they cause the jars to ring. That could be interesting. Strange stuff. Especially if they had little human faces. Yeah, I went there. Alright, special rooms. Let's do a special rooms. We'll see what we get here. Contents of special rooms. We got a 47. 47 is an NPC interaction. Let me read this a little bit here. So, special rooms are simply the rooms with more details to them than just monsters, treasure, and or bits of dungeon dressing. They don't have to be super dramatic. That's more of the role of big things and strange things. But they should generally be interactive or provide information, one or the other. In some cases, they might incorporate tricks or traps, but beware. You don't want to make every interesting room contain something dangerous, or the players will eventually assume that every room containing more detail than a broken arrow on the floor is a risk. Leave many of the rooms to be nothing more than interesting. It's fair. It's fair. Little pattern matching monsters that my players are. Oh, interesting. Okay, so this seems like it has a pretty huge list of interesting subtables. This is the juice right here. This is awesome. So, but we did find the NPC interactions table. Let's roll on this and see what we get. We got an 86. Okay. 86, 38. Let's do this here. 86, 38, and 64. Okay, so 86. Lost as hell. I love it. 38. Oops. For initial attitude towards party. Mercurial or whimsical responses, possibly changing temperament at the drop of a hat. A hat dropping, okay. I'm just going to put mercurial. Seems fine. And then 64. Primary potential value to party will act as diplomat, translator, or interlocutor on the party's behalf with a strong monster who guards access to another location or might give up its treasure to the party. Okay. I'm just going to say diplomat to boss. Kind of get the gist. One of the reasons that I write the numbers down on these things is that I can kind of shorthand the information, and then if I need to look it up later, I can just go kind of follow my way through. Although it is not a perfect system, I will admit. All right, cool. So in our special room, we have an NPC interaction, someone who is lost as hell, a bit mercurial, and is a diplomat to the boss of the dungeon. That could produce some pretty interesting results. You could imagine, maybe in the temple, because I'm pretty sure this is like some kind of shrine or something, right? We have it's the bloodstained shrine, right? Or the bloodstained vestry. So yeah, maybe this is like the boss's lieutenant who's lost, or maybe their child who's lost, and if the party can kind of, get them back there, they can be a diplomat. So yeah, some cool ideas in there. And then I think, so the rest of those were statues and thrones. Let's see here. Water. Okay, this is the last. I think this is the last one here. Water landmarks. Oh, interesting. So if you roll written records on the special rooms, they point you off to another table that is written records. So that's kind of cool. Let's do our water landmark. Some water landmarks may already have been generated as a transition between areas if you're going through these tables step by step. If this is the case, don't feel obligated to put in more water landmarks, but if you've got a waterway transition, you certainly have the potential to create a dungeon level that involve quite a bit of water, which is always cool. I don't know how always cool it is, but yeah, it's cool enough, I guess. So I rolled a 79 for the type of water landmark. Severe dripping or running water from ceiling or walls in a particular area. Okay. I especially like the idea that, like, the bloodstone. So, imagine this is the bloodstained shrine. And what if it's not actually blood? What if it's just rusty water? And so this room looks like it has blood dripping down the walls and from the ceiling, but it's actually just really rusty water. All right. Well, that's everything for that section of the book. We have kind of covered the how to make a dungeon as a location, kind of top down. Whoa, it's honestly a pretty big chunk of this chapter. So next time we'll just explore the what comes next method of figuring out ideas. As opposed to what we did last time. I'll probably try and flesh out another piece of the same dungeon if that works. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed. If you enjoy these videos, I hope you will click the like button. If you want to see more of them, you should subscribe. I put them out, I think, every Sunday. We do something in this series where I'm exploring books of random tables and stuff. Every Tuesday, we've got flip through and reviews of adventures that I have run personally or played in, or books that I've used. And then, go ahead and subscribe, bell icon, blah blah blah. Go to patreon.com/watcherdm if you want to support this effort, or go to watcherdm.com if you want to purchase any of our adventure content. Thanks for playing.